Hello, everyone. Welcome to VR Verdict Podcast, episode 111. I am PJ.
Wookie.
That's Wookie. And we're talking to Virtual Uppercut Studios, Yahya and Gitchy.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
So it's good to have you guys back. Last time was October 2020, I think, right around Halloween for your obviously monster-themed game.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been so
Thanks for having
long. The game is it's totally different. It's a whole new game. What the hell, guys? What happened?
Yeah, it was crazy. We were like basically, we did the mistake by feature creeping things, and we just kept adding more and more. We were like, oh, that's so fun, but then eventually everything was half baked, and we were like, either we quit this project or we finish it to the end. And we decided like, all right, we want to finish it, but it's gonna take too long if we keep all these different game modes. So up until that point, like we had released the world adventure mode, and everybody kept like having a hard time with enjoying that one, and we kept trying to push that. But then at that point, the latest update we pushed was the zombies mode, and everybody immediately got that and enjoyed it, and like doubled the sales and stuff. So we just chose like what players like the most.
Yeah, I hopped in there not too long ago and gave it a shot, and you can see on the video playing like you have all new maps and worlds, and it's all new weapons. Even it's a whole different game, kind of like you said, designed off zombies from Call of Duty mode, only better because like I really had fun with your game on Call of Duty. Like the zombies mode isn't my thing, but this was fun, so I was happy.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was the problem, because like when we added something new and we gave the build to people, we wanted them to play the new mode, but it was like very confusing, and they just like started playing the super old mode, and they didn't really know like how to get into the new mode. And yeah, we just like had to cut everything out that didn't work and just like double down on the things that did work. And so yeah, we just concentrated like making more maps, making a whole bunch of guns, and all the magic we had before, we just like turned it into guns. So like the flame magic became a flamethrower, the like telekinesis became like a gravity gun, and just like take the good parts and change them.
Oh, that's awesome! You could swing that. And by the way, anyone watching this video, if you haven't noticed, we're not in our normal space. And I'll swing the camera on, but we're in the actual menu room, the hub room of your game, so it's really neat.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I booted this up. I was like, is this like the wrong thing?
Nostalgia.
stuff.
Yeah, Wookie.
Yeah, I was thinking what to give you guys, but like all the other maps are too huge, and I think the main menu is the most iconic. When people boot up the game, they see this and they see the dog and bird over there.
I was just expecting something like the dog and the bird, not like wait a minute, what is all this stuff? It's the whole level.
Okay. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, we had mentioned doing it, and you're like, here, go for it. And Wookie and I sat, Wookie did everything. I just watched him while he shared his screen, but in a couple hours, we had a pretty close facsimile of your game anyway, and it was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. So,
nice.
I hope we did it justice.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
But so yeah, you guys
Now that we're sitting here, the scale's a little big.
Yeah.
I'm saying. All right.
No problem. And you guys are still rocking in Tokyo, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Just giving the listeners and watchers some background on you. So
yeah, ever since last time though, I actually changed jobs. I used to work at the company who was making Swords of Gargantua, and they recently announced Altair, but I've since switched to another company called Universe, who made the Little Witch Academy, a broom racing VR game.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and now we're working on the next big anime title, and it's going to be very
Awesome.
exciting to announce.
That's cool because I don't think you told us that before. Because I love Swords of Gargantua, and the VR broom racing is a lot of fun too. So it's cool to see you're
Yeah.
attached to both of those.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Just wait for the next project. That's gonna be. It's yeah. I can't say which anime it is, but it's one of the big ones, so should be exciting.
Awesome. I'm pumped.
Mm.
Is it
So I'm
rhyme with somebody
curious.
that is might be light and tall?
It's those animes with like that anime with the guys with big eyes and the girl and the guy and yeah, that narrows it down, right?
There's a couple of them. I got a good idea what you're talking about.
So I've always been curious, and you guys are kind of doing the same thing. You were kind of halfway done, you thought, with the game last time we talked. You said you just decided, had to pick something and go with it. So how do you guys keep the passion going when you're working on something so long, and then you're like, oh, we're switching gears again? Like, how do you guys make that work?
It's extremely hard. Yeah, it's been like 2 years in total. And
Yeah.
at some point, yeah, like you said, like at first it's like exciting. It's like, yo, I want to put this in, I want to put this in. But then like you need to think about it differently, right? Like you can't just do whatever you want, which is what we did at first, and it just doesn't work. So we gotta like make decisions. Okay, this goes in, this doesn't go in, and just make like a task list and stick to it. And yeah, it just becomes like having a job while you already have a full-time job on top of it. And yeah, like you just gotta keep on going. Like that's the thing. Like I made a rule for myself. Like I'm gonna work on this at least 1 or 2 hours a day, and
Yep.
just stick to it. But like then you have these moments again where it's like when I get to work on like something cool, when I put in like a certain like weapon type or something, I get like super excited again. And you always like find these little things that get you excited again, and that kind of keeps
Yeah.
you going. And when we get like people that play the game and they're like super excited, like, yo, I love this and this was fun, and they share their clips, like that's really what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that the sales kind of doubled, or I think you said doubled when you changed it up and tried out the new platform. So
Yeah, now it's showing totally. Like since we released 2 months ago, like we've gotten like more than we've ever gotten throughout the 2 years of
Wow.
early access. So it
Nice.
shows like and there is like almost no bad like feedback. All the feedback we got is constructive and it's mostly
Awesome.
positive. So the
Well,
only
that's
thing people want is multiplayer, but yeah, that's that's a bit of a hard one, but we'll see. For now,
Yeah.
it's the single player, and yeah, we're happy with what we got in the end. Like 10 maps for now, and yeah,
Yeah.
the game is working. There's a full game loop, and yeah, we sprinkled them some cool stuff like bosses and the final boss.
Yeah, I was playing. I enjoy the hell out of the Cyberpunk map. But I was
Nice.
playing the town map, and I think it's like the first mini boss you fight. Like he just kept kicking my ass. I was running. I kept running out of ammo. I was just going all nuts on him, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's that whole like every time you lose, it's not just because it's hard. It's because like you got something wrong, like, and then next time how to do it better. It's in game development. We have this like there's the good kind of difficulty and the bad kind of difficult. Where the bad difficult is where it's you die in the game and it's not your fault. It's the game's fault. Like it's just too hard. Whereas
Yeah.
like games like Dark Souls, you die, but it was your fault. So next time you know how to avoid it, and you learn with every new death. So it's that kind of gameplay.
Yeah. Only I'm not stuck in it like I am in Elden Ring currently. So, but you still
it's
kind
another
of kept.
full-time job.
Yeah, no kidding. The old game, I loved it, and it had it was charming, and it was kind of more like exploration. But I love how you guys were able to keep some of the sense of humor and some of the wackiness with like the donut machine and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the donut machine. It's interesting because it was like for, yeah, we were kind of limited. I mean, with our game, like I have been in the past 3D artist, but if I had to do all the art for this game, it would have taken like years to make. So for us, we wanted to focus on programming and designing the game. So most of the art is outsourced, and for the vending machine, we were looking for one and we couldn't really find the proper one with like cool drinks. But then we found this awesome donut machine. We were like, yeah, this one's good. Yeah, and
That's
if you've
awesome.
noticed, if you've picked up the donut, you'll hear a popular like voice, like I mimicked the voice, the donuts, like Homer Simpson.
Let's just say you did Homer Simpson proud with a donut machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone watching the video in of the game, if you hit you guys have some chests, like if you can rack up some points and stuff. If you watch the video, like that chest pops up and there's just tons of weapons that scroll through. Like, how many weapons do you guys have in the game now? Because it's quite a bit.
It was like between 50 and 60 in the end.
Gee, that's crazy.
Because
Yeah.
I did a whole rework of the weapon system. Because yeah, at first the weapon was actually, we had the system that the weapon is always on the right hand and the magic is always on the left hand. So the way we programmed it was like very depending on it being that way, that you always have one weapon and one magic. So the hand and the weapon was kind of merged together. So when we made this new system, I had to like rebuild everything. And yeah, I just made like a very strong base system. So just adding a new weapon became actually super easy. Just like put in the model, like change the stats and everything. And I could probably make a new weapon in like an hour or 2 hours.
Is it that easy to balance everything, or do you not have to worry about that since it's just solo player?
The balancing, yeah, that was like, I was trying my best, but there's like so much crazy stuff going on with like, because you can like upgrade the weapon to like 3 levels, and
Yeah,
there's just like so much going on. It's kind of impossible to balance. So I just like did what I can.
that's awesome. I was really shocked to pull out a katana out of nowhere and then just start slicing people up. It was pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things we didn't want to let go of when we switched to just the zombie mode, where we used to have the whole melee system with the blades and the swords, and that was like from the adventure mode and the old style, and we didn't want to let go of that. It was like pretty cool, so Stefan decided to like kind of make it like the guns where you can't drop the weapon, because before it was like physical, like blade and sorcery, you can pick it up, drop it, throw it. And we kind of made it more arcadey, where it just sticks to your hand, and then you can just still use it against enemies. And I think it kept in the nice, cool feeling of killing enemies with swords and blades.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I think there's like a black hole gun that was really neat that I remember. Just you can do a lot of crazy combinations with those things.
I was playing a lot of Overwatch at the time, so that was big inspiration.
Yeah.
So I know kind of the game is out now, right? It's like fully out, like released.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have more plans for it, or are you kind of like just tweaking and fixing and then working on the next thing, or where are you guys at with that process?
Can you tell them what you're working on now, or is it still not ready?
So yeah, like one thing I want from the beginning to just at least attempt is make a quest port, and I think that's where most of the people playing VR are now, especially after the crazy Christmas holiday with now over 10 million Quest users.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have all of them try out our game and enjoy it. And so last week I finished a demo for the Quest port. Because porting all the maps can be a little bit time consuming. And I first wanted to test out the waters. So with the port finished, it's currently in submission with the SideQuest. App
Oh,
Labs
nice.
will maybe come in later, and I'm just waiting for them to approve it, and then I can release it. And for this one, it will just be a demo, and we'll see how people react to it. And if they really enjoy it, then we'll move over to. I'll be mostly taking care of that, and I'll be moving over to just porting all the maps as much as I can, and then releasing the entire game. For now, yeah, the demo is for free, but the entire game will be paid, of course.
Sure.
And aside from that, we'll see how things go. Like, if the game does really crazy, I mean, we have a bunch of map ideas and other ideas we'd love to do, but we'll see. We'll see how things go.
So it's basically just what you kind of see for interest and sales, I assume, then, and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
we've already spent like 2 years on the game, so like,
Yeah.
like unless there's people actually wanting the game to grow
Yeah.
more, or there's actually an audience, there's no point if no one's playing it. Then why keep spending time on this? Like we
Yeah.
both have already like other projects we'd love to. We already started like other projects on the side, so yeah, like we have other things to do. But yeah, if there's more people, we'd love to make more content.
That's awesome.
Because like even when we said like sales kind of doubled from before, it's still like not even close to enough to make an even. Like we just made enough back to pay for like the assets we bought, but then we put in like I don't know, like 4,000 hours of work, so that is still like not even close to making even for that. But yeah, that was like
crazy.
well, the main reason wasn't just to like sell the game, but yeah, just like grow through like making it and have like a great portfolio piece and gain the experience as well. So yeah, it was definitely worth it, even if it's not making a lot of money. But yeah, other than that, yeah, because Yahya has been working on the quest part, but I've been just like taking time off doing something else because yeah, during this time I had like so many things I wanted to try, like just like get better at Unreal Engine, like try a bunch of different things. Because like when you're working on the game, like the main focus is to like finish the game. So if you want to put in like a mechanic, you can't really put too much research time into it. You just like kind of do it the way you know. But now like all the things that I kind of like half-assed, I'm like going back on it and like doing research if there's like a better way to do it maybe. And yeah, I've been also doing a lot of like 2D stuff in Unreal Engine, which a lot of people aren't, which like almost nobody's doing. Because there's like, yeah, Unreal Engine sucks for 2D, you just use Unity and whatever, but I don't want to use Unity anymore because I haven't touched it in 4 years and it's just getting worse and worse. And
it's
I've
horrible.
been playing around with that a lot and it's actually pretty good if you know what you're doing. So yeah.
Cool.
Anyone who's interested, like you can follow him on his Twitter. Like he's posting all this like 2D brawler or 2D kind of stuff on Unreal Engine.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, well, Yahya as well. Actually, we started doing YouTube channels about like programming, like teaching Unreal Engine or just like showing off our projects. So yeah, that's kind of also a thing we're gonna keep on doing.
Cool.
Yeah, I started a whole like third-person adventure, action-adventure kind of game, like kind of like Kingdom Hearts, and I've been posting about that and updating it. And yeah, that's a whole project I'm starting now.
I have to get those links from you. We can throw them in the show notes, and have people check them out. But I'd really like to see that too. That'd be neat.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always looking at the difference between Unreal and Unity. Just trying to pick out people, perspective and reasons. It's just interesting, the whole divide between that.
Yeah.
Why are you out of your chair?
I was looking at the
screen. He's been there for like 10 minutes already. You just know.
I know. I thought he had to go AFK or something.
I noticed. No, I think I scaled the area, the room a little too big, and I'm sitting over there and I turn around. I keep getting interested in the video and I break my neck looking all the way up at that giant screen.
Yeah.
Are you one of those standing desk people?
I have a standing desk. Yes.
Well, nice. I want to buy one next week because of my back. It's been hurting me with sitting at home all day.
Yeah. I want to work. I highly recommend it.
I've got one table I bought from IKEA a few years back, and it's just got a motor with like just a up and down button, so you can kind of like raise it and lower it,
Nice.
and really like it's basically a motor. Because a lot of the standing desks, you get like 10 positions, and if you don't like that position, and the one you really want is between two of the existing positions, it's kind of a pain. So it's nice to have just a table where you just like lower it like half an inch, and you're more comfortable. Because throughout the day you might stand up straight starting out, but at the end of the day you might be out of energy and leaning forward. It's just nice to have options.
Yeah, totally.
So what else have you guys been up to since we talked to you last? Anything cool going on other than developing, or
Mm. Actually,
Well, yeah,
mostly
we're
just
kind of
develop.
workaholics. Yeah, we like in the morning we wake up, we work on our own projects, then we go to work, and then we work like at the company, and then we come back, and then we just maybe
Yeah.
play games or continue working on our own projects, then go back to sleep.
I guess we can talk about games we played.
yeah, that was my next
Yeah.
question. So yeah,
Yeah, what you playing?
So I guess I'll start. So because I like fighting games a lot, and before like the whole COVID thing happened, there's like a venue here called like Red Bull Fighting Sphere, a Red Bull
Ooh.
Gaming Sphere, and once a week actually like multiple times, like almost every day, they just have like free events. You can just go there and play with other people, and they have like a Street Fighter Day, a Smash Bros Day, and I always went to Soul Calibur 6. So I actually was
nice.
pretty deep into Soul Calibur 6. Was playing Siegfried, and but then the
Yeah.
pandemic happened, so that kind of fell away. So that kind of sucked. But I started playing Street Fighter 5 like now that it's kind of like over, because I hated the game so much when it first came out. But they put in Honda finally, so I got my boy back. I played a bit online, and it's actually a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, you said Street Fighter and Soul Calibur, so it's like I knew there's another reason I liked you guys, but Siegfried was my guy in Soul Calibur. What was the first on the
Awesome.
Dreamcast?
Yes.
Was it just Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreamcast was amazing.
Yeah, I missed that thing.
It's
Was there
Rudy or
Soul
Maxi
Edge
all the
before
way.
that?
Yeah, Soul Edge
Yeah.
on PS1.
Yeah.
The old one. What was the ninja
Yeah,
guy's
for-
name? The Oni guy with the flag on it. Yoshimitsu. I used to
Onimusha?
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Onimusha.
Yoshimitsu. He was insane. He was like made of wood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
like, he
crazy.
changed so
Every
much
new
every time,
games
right?
is different. Yeah.
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 He was a
Well, like
squid
his
in the
winning
end.
animation would be some like weird thing in his head would like spin around in a circle because he's like a wooden doll or something.
One of his moves is like putting his sword into his
Yep.
stomach and then killing the guy from
Oh.
behind. It's like
I
crazy.
used to do that to DJ
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay,
I just
he
run
give
up
you
and he'd
that
be
all
like,
the
no.
time.
I'd turn around and jam it through my stomach.
It's actually
Yeah,
pretty
that's
valuable though
funny.
if you know how to use it. Because we had
Yeah.
a guy
Yeah,
at Red Bull.
It was
Because like if you're gonna lose the round anyway, you can just like kill both of you and get a draw.
Man, now I want to go play shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're keeping you here.
You bastards.
What time is it, guys, with you guys now? Like, is it nighttime there?
8,
Yeah, it's
8:30 p.m.
Oh,
No, it's early morning here.
yeah. What have you been playing, man?
yeah. What do you got going on?
Oh yeah, me. Yeah, that's so a few months ago I really got like this urge to play Age of Empires again. and luckily 2 years ago they released Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which has all like
Yeah.
new art style and like upgraded graphics. And man, I just dove into that and got really invested into it again. And yeah, I just loved playing that since I was a kid, strategy games. And aside from that, like recently I've been playing a bunch of Kingdom Hearts because I want to research for the game I'm making, and
Nice.
specifically the older PS2 games. And it's just awesome, like seeing all the different optimization techniques they used to make the game run and look great on the PS2.
Yeah.
And actually, part of that has helped me a lot with the quest for Monster Showdown, and like just using all those PS2 techniques to make the game runs. And I'm also applying all that with my new game now that I'm gonna be like, I'm posting on Twitter, and I'll be posting like around next week, a devlog on my YouTube.
Nice,
So yeah,
dude.
mostly doing that.
I like going back and look at it, PS2 specifically, because they did a lot of tricks. Like, I don't remember which Final Fantasy it was on the PS2. It might have been 9 or 10, but it had no business looking as good as it did on the PS2 near the end of the PS2's life. But like, how do they squeeze that much out of that console? It had a lot of good. I don't know if the textures were just really good on the console. Like, power for the textures was great, but kind of fun
Yeah,
to go
it's
back and
crazy.
look at
Like
them.
the stuff Square Enix would pull off. Like they're always pushing like the cutting edge of technology and like really squeezing out like every new like tricks and techniques to optimize the game and make it run. Like I remember I was talking to a guy from the Final Fantasy 11 team who was making it for the PS2, and he was explaining how like the PlayStation 2 had a specific dedicated chip inside to handle particle effects, and so it was really good with particle effects. If you've noticed, many games used like crazy stuff, specifically like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts games. And for Final Fantasy 11, like sometimes they would be out of budget, or like the budget for the graphics, and they
Mhm.
would want like things in the background like airships flying. And so instead of having just airships flying, they turned them into particle effects because the particle effects like chip works. And like yeah, like they would pull off tricks like that. like
It's great.
like imagine a character but he's a particle effect in the engine, so like they would do crazy shit like that to make it work. And yeah.
It's always a shame when the console nears the end of life like that, because like no people really know how to use it. Like
Yeah.
they've really figured out how
Yeah.
to squeeze everything out of that particle chip. I guess it's funny.
But
And
things
those
can
tips and
always
tricks
like
are
move on to the next generation. Like like for example, in my game, I'm still using those techniques because in the future I might release the game on the Switch, and you still need that kind of optimization for Switch.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart.
And
I've
also
always
gives
And
the
wondered.
even
very
overall,
unique look.
but
Oh. Go ahead.
Go
And
on.
also gives the very distinct and unique look, right? Because you want to emulate that
Yes.
kind of.
Yes, yes. Like PS1 games, you saw that recent like Bloodborne PS1 demake.
Yeah,
that
great.
like just, yeah, they use the same shaders that make it look broken and like old, and it just looks great because it's like nostalgic.
I've always wondered, being game devs, like if you when you play other games, is it distracting? Are you always like, oh, look at that, or like, oh, that's how they did that? Like, does it distract you from the actual game, or can you kind of turn that on and off?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mostly have my like Trello notes open and just like write things down, take notes. Like I want to put this in my game too. I want to have this move. Yeah, like it kind of takes out of the enjoyment a little bit, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it takes away a bit of the magic, but like at the same time, you're also like, how the hell did they pull that off? And like you
Yeah.
just try to like move around with the character, move the camera, and you're like, oh damn, that's cool. And then it's
Oh,
like the story you totally forgot about.
I remember
Yeah.
when we played the new Smash Bros on Switch the first time, and we were on the fountain map, and you just like stopped playing. Oh, look at this reflection! It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like that old
'Cause I know
Seinfeld
Yeah, but-
episode where they're doing they're watching like Edward Scissorhands at the barber's house or something like that, and the barbers are crying because Edward Scissorhands is so good at cutting hair. They're like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, but this is also like it's a little bit similar. Like for example, I wouldn't want to join here a company like, I don't know, like Square Enix, or like companies I like their games of, because that would break the entire magic of loving those
Yeah.
games. I'm pretty sure like it would be similar for Stefan. Like if he would if he would join like Like the companies that make Street Fighter or like I don't know, yeah. Wouldn't
I don't know, man. I was actually like
No?
aiming
No,
for
you don't
that
think so?
first, but then I saw the salary and I was like, nope.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Because
Yeah.
I think it's different with fighting games because like
Hmm.
if they're not really made to be immersed, like 'cause even if I just play a fighting game, I look at the frame data, I look at it very like mathematically. So I think in that case it would actually work. But yeah, if you because
Hmm.
I actually used to work in localization before, just on like working holiday visa, and I actually did localization for Street Fighter 5 too, and that was actually awesome. But then I had to do
Hmm.
localization for like other games like Attack on Titan, and it just like ruined the game because you don't really play the game from the start to the end. You get like a list like where you have to start, and then you just like start in, like the last chapters. Like, what? This guy was the Titan. What the fuck? I didn't even know like what's going on. What? And like ruins the entire thing for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a friend who
Yeah.
joined like the Final Fantasy 15 team, and the first day she joined, they're like, "All right, so this guy's dying, we're gonna be doing the story this way." And she's like, "What the hell? No!"
Yeah.
Just storm out and quit.
Yeah.
At that point, it's
Yeah.
already ruined for you. You might as well just go with it. But
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it like really depends on the type of game, I think.
that's true.
Sure.
That's true. Yeah, but also one thing about making games, like it's
Working
not
at a game
always
company and have them
100%, but like
spoiling stuff.
yeah, like one thing is like if you work on a game for like 2, 3, 4 years, like once it's out and fully working and not bugged, like full of bugs, you just don't want to touch that thing or look at that thing ever
Yeah.
again. Like,
Yeah.
you're just kind of sick of it. So that's another
Sure.
thing too. Like,
Well, that's the story. But I don't think I've ever seen you play our game actually.
oh no, I spend like that's actually an exception. Like many times, well, not I don't play it out of the blue, but when I'm testing and playing the game, many times I'm looking like I'm testing a feature or looking for a bug, and 20 minutes later I realize, oh shit, I've just been playing. Like I forgot to
Yeah,
check
true.
the
Actually, yeah, that
the
happens
problem.
too. It happens too.
Yeah, because it just gets you right into the action. It's like fun. You forget it. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah,
Going-
it's hard to maybe also immerse yourself in the game. Like if I play the game, like all right, I leveled up in my game. It's like yeah, but I made this game. I know what's gonna happen when I reach level 100.
True. It's
Yeah.
true. But
Going
sometimes
back
it's
to your
actually fun
game,
if
I was. Oh, go ahead.
oh sorry. Like sometimes it's actually fun like if we play it after a while and we don't really know what the other guy implemented. And it's like, wait, this
Yeah.
isn't a game?
Yes. With a bigger
I've never
team, it is
seen this
cooler
weapon.
sometimes because like every time you open it, you're like, oh shit, there's new stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
You're making a fighting game, and you just go to like change the hitboxes on the hands to like 4 times the size or something. So you just punch and they die. Just don't tell anybody.
I mean, it's funny, like stuff like that where you're just playing around, doing crazy stuff that maybe like you don't want to implement in the game. Actually, sometimes end up being in the final game because you just came up with like a feature just by
Yeah.
playing around.
Oh yeah.
Like in Mario 3D World, the one on the Wii U and the Switch. You know how there's like one power up where you split into 2 characters and
Yeah.
start running around. That actually was accidentally like they came up with that idea because one developer was just playing and he accidentally had just 2 players in the map, and then he booted up the game and he was like, oh shit, it's controlling 2 players, and he was like, wait, that's actually cool.
Yeah. That
It is pretty fun.
funnily, that's
Yeah.
my favorite part of that game because it's just awesome to try and control that and figure it out. So that's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's why I encourage like always just play around, while developing, try out
Yeah.
stupid crazy things. Never say no, like explicitly no, because you never know what that idea can lead to.
True. Actually, also in Street Fighter 2, the combo system was actually a bug because one guy noticed that if you press the buttons at the right timing, you can actually like connect multiple attacks, and the other guy can't block. but they're like, oh, we gotta fix this. But then they were like, well, it's so hard to do. Like nobody's ever gonna figure this out, right? And that was like how a combo system even started
Wow.
Wow.
from the
Didn't
start
know
of
that.
that
Through
work.
their game is an accident.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to picture what it would be like without combos if they fixed it. Like,
I think it
Right?
would just be like Samurai Showdown is now, because it's like just big heavy hits, and that's
It's like-
kind of it.
Just ganging up
one
on
was
you. Who am I?
Yeah.
It's just merged. Right. It's still me, yeah.
I hope you didn't switch
yeah, pretty
places
cool
because I want
environment
to
you
know
guys
who's who. Sorry, what's that?
You'll know our voices. No, pretty cool. Like the stuff you've made. Like last time was just voice, like on Discord.
Yeah.
Now you get the whole 3D environment. I like this. Like you can. This whole thing we just did these gestures and stuff. Can't do that in just voices.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it started
we're,
out with the Spatial Ape team invited us into their space, and then they started doing other things. So we kind of were forced to figure it out with some help of some other friends. But Wookie's been relearning his crap and getting it to work, and now it's kind of spurred him on to work on some games and stuff. So it's been pretty
Nice.
cool.
yeah, I used to
Nice.
play in Unity like a decade ago. And I went to school for
Wow.
animation. So like when you guys were like, oh hey, you got the normal map like that, I'm like, okay, now I gotta figure this out. I remember what they were, but where do I put them in Unity? I don't know. That's fun.
You should
But
give
yeah.
Unreal a shot too.
I have
Sure,
it
yeah.
installed. Just
Nice.
figuring.
Like once you go Unreal, you never go back.
Yeah.
I might have to
Yeah.
beg you guys for a private session and give me maybe a head start.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime, let us know. I can have a call even with you and just explain to you, help you out. It's
'Cause I like
so
the
awesome
interface.
to use. So yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even the like a little gizmo for like the rotations and stuff. It's not a vector line that you can't grab half the time like it is in Unity. It's got that nice
Yeah.
big pretty beam slice. I don't know what you
Yeah.
like. You can push play and go like there's a free camera built into the editor for the testing. You can just kind of zoom
Yes,
around. Holy
exactly.
shit,
Yeah.
that's not in Unity.
It's like it's made for games. Like seriously, in just by default, you boot up the engine, you boot up a template, and you can just choose 10 players in the scene, and you got multiplayer going on. Like
Yeah.
it's just built in.
Yeah.
It's I'm sure there's differences, nuances, and stuff. Like if you have to build a big game, do you have to push build and it takes freaking forever on Unreal to build because Unity has all like the layers and the plugins for that. The builds are quick. I don't know how long that takes.
No,
I'm
it's
sure
pretty
there's
fast too on Unreal. Like for
cool.
Monster
Well, the
Reapers,
thing is-
Monster Showdown, it just takes
Yeah.
us like a minute or two to build.
Well, the first time, because I think it bakes a lot of data. The first time you build it takes like an hour, but
Yes.
then the
Yes.
iterations after that are pretty fast. Yeah.
yeah, I think it like probably caches stuff. I think that's why the library is
Yeah,
getting pretty
exactly.
large in it. It's cached on it.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. We're talking
Yeah,
about
it's about to get
Nerd
real nerdy in here, but that's all right.
But yeah, my only problem with Unreal Engine is the way they handle C++.
Yeah.
It's like
I've never dabbled in C++. So I'm kind of
Because
is Blueprints going to be enough?
blueprints.
Yes,
yeah,
it
actually,
is.
Monster Reapers is almost. It's like 99% blueprints.
99.99. We just have one script for one function that's in C++.
It's actually 2, I think.
Is it the
Okay,
donut
all
machine?
right. No.
Game with
It's
the
just
donut
basically a
machine.
blueprint function that wasn't there. So we made it like in C++, and then we can call it from the blueprints. That's it.
I'm sure I can figure some of that out. But like, I just do a lot of scripting, so C# was easy enough to learn back in the day, and it's just helpful. That's in Unity, but it's also kind of like I keep asking devs, like because Unity has like the mono plugin or whatever, give them C#. You can just use the mono DLL readers and rip the code right out of the game. Like people can see all your tips and tricks. Like one thing to get inspired by a game and say, I want to put that grappling hook in my game. And then it's another thing to go use a DLL sniffer and just like, here's how they did it. Like, shit.
Well,
I
I
kinda like
think it's
that,
like just sharing idea. Yeah, anyone can just see the code. Like, I mean, in the end, like, there's no copying. Like, everybody will get inspired by something, and then eventually it will turn into something else. So,
yeah.
yeah. But actually, with Unreal, there is it's not official, but it is like supported by Epic, where there's like a whole team building a C# library, and it's actually already like working not bad. Like, so you can actually get that. It's called like CSL Unreal or something like that. And yeah, you can just plug that in and use C#. But yeah, again,
I think
blueprints more than enough.
Yeah. But also it's not so much like C++ itself, because like even before like doing C++ with Unreal Engine, we learned C++ at school for like 2 years. Even then, just like the way Unreal Engine handles it, because in Unity, if you do C#, like you have like it affects the game right away, because you can do like you just like start playing and it works. But Unreal Engine, if you write like one line of code in C++, you have to compile for like 2 minutes and then start and hope it doesn't crash. And it's like the whole process of it.
But wasn't that
That
only
is
for
problematic.
custom engines? I think with not
custom engine
custom
just makes
engines,
it
you can
worse.
just press. Yeah.
No,
okay.
no. It still takes like a minute at least, mostly.
Okay.
Custom engine
Yeah.
takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just. Yeah, but that's actually like one thing for some developers, like Square Enix, how they adapted it for Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts 3 Unreal Engine, because by default you can just get the custom engine, like the source code, and you can just customize the engine however you like. And so it is also pretty open for whoever has that ability and skill to just customize their engine.
Neat.
Yeah.
I think actually like Mortal Kombat 11, like a lot of people like mistook it for being an Unreal Engine 4 game because it looks so good, but actually they are still using Unreal Engine 3, just like modified it so much it looks completely different now.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Someone shared an article with us that said CD Projekt Red was for their new Witcher project. They're using Unreal and they're working with that because the Red engine.
Yeah.
Like I remember booting up Witcher 2, which is fucking gorgeous, and it was like melting my PC, but I didn't care. I just taking screenshots until I had to force quit the game so I could just look at them because it's like holy shit. So if they actually share knowledge with Unreal, that's a big plus. Like, yeah, Unity bought like Weta Digital for movies. I don't give a shit. That's kind of neat. I like Weta Digital movies, but I'm not going to make movies. That doesn't help me as
Exactly.
hobbyist.
Sure.
But if fucking CD Projekt Red starts adding some stuff to Unreal, it's kind of like shit.
Yeah.
Gotta learn both.
I mean, that's the thing with Unity and Unreal. Unreal, Epic Games is a games company. Unity does not make games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a dev roundtable once a month with 4 or 5 devs, and it always just devolves into Unity versus Unreal. And
One guy hates Unity. He goes off on like the UI is old. So like the other night when I was Peter was watching me and we were kind of, I was putting the normal maps in your booth here. And I'm saying this is why he's hating on it, because it's fucking
Yes.
It's like
me too. I have to
like,
use it for my full time. It's go on.
Yeah. It's old looking.
Yeah. See, for beginners, it's pretty good, but like it's not overwhelming like Unreal. But it's just limited. Like it's been so buggy recently. Like I left it 4 years ago, and I came back to it because my current job uses Unreal Unity, and I don't know how it got worse in 4 years. Like what?
I was just creating a small template for VR stuff last night. So I was going through and I was adding some of the OpenXR plugins, and shit just had errors. I had to like restart the client to get it to notice that, hey, you're using this, this 0.01 upgrade of this XRI thing. you make a backup of your project, or just are you okay with this upgrade? And I'm like, it's an empty project. What the fuck? But I had to restart the engine to get the pop-up to show up, and as soon as I clicked yes, and then restart it again, 80 errors went away, and I'm like, where? What? I was even complaining to PJ over Discord. I'm like, well, I've already hitting fucking errors. Wait, nope, restarted. It's good.
Yeah, the whole error thing, the packaging thing, like it's so complex. Like in Unreal, you just enable disable plugin. It does not download it into your project. It does not affect like your whole source, like repository and stuff. Like, so much more smoother.
And when our friend gave us the multiplayer booth that we're in right now, with the Normcore plugin to get this stuff working, the multiplayer, and I hadn't really used anything VR in Unity, but there's like an Oculus tab up top. But I was using, we're using the OpenXR plugin. So I just was browsing the Oculus plugin, and there was a build through the Oculus menu instead of build through the project menu. I clicked it once to see if there was anything different because it said it might cache stuff and speed stuff up. Destroyed it. I was like, I had to rebuild the entire project and pull the scene files out. And he was like, oh, you should use, all you got to do is compare all the files and see which ones are different, and then just only move over into a new project the ones that you need. And I was like, oh, it's painful. That was like 2 days of fun just because I pushed build in an Oculus menu. I'm like, it's an Oculus app. Sorry, everybody. I'm griping. But he helped me fix it, and like the tool's still great, but it was like, damn it, Unity. It wasn't his fault. So PJ,
I have nothing to contribute to any of that talk. We're trying to get to the point to where, like, when we have a guest and they give us like in-game assets like characters or weapons, that I can just pop in, place them, and Wookie doesn't have to. He can do the big stuff, and I can take care of the little stuff. But we haven't got that far yet because I've never touched anything, so I'm learning, or will learn, or whatever.
Good reason to learn. Nice. Yeah, if you have this thing going on.
Yeah.
placements should be fine.
Yeah.
That's always the thing I find. Like, if you just want to learn something for the sake of learning it, it's very hard. But if you have to do it out of necessity, it gets a lot easier.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I've been wanting to learn Blender for like 3D modeling for a long time, but I never had like a game that needs it. But now, like, one of the things I'm working on needs it, so like now it's a lot easier. Just like every day, just start it up, do it like an hour, and get better at it slowly.
Yeah, I used to use Maya 3D. So back in the day, I'd like log in and model one item on my desk, just like a pen cup, and just be like, okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep the habit going.
Yeah. I don't think we want to keep going on about the Unity and real stuff. We might put people to sleep.
Yeah.
If you guys are having fun, that's fine.
We could talk about Godot.
I have never
Godot
used
engine.
it, but it's open source.
Me
so
neither.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. It's super tiny too. It's like 12 megabytes or something. I don't know.
Damn.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at stuff like that. 'Cause, there's databases built on JavaScript. You push a button, you get a tiny little connectable database and some in memory. And it's like, who makes those things? Those tiny little tools.
Should we start talking about like JavaScript versus TypeScript or something? I think that's even more fun.
I'll be even more confused.
Me
Java
too. I'll be in
versus
that boat too.
JavaScript versus Python versus Ruby.
Oh, don't get
Python
me
sounds
started on
cooler.
Ruby.
Actually, in Japan, Java is like a coffee like company.
Java's what?
It's a coffee like drink.
They call coffee Java over here too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
even the
okay,
icon of Java is like a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's weird space stuff.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Here I was like, oh, this is like Java, whereas Java is like coffee. That's the other way around. Okay. Yeah, I never noticed. I forgot. Yeah, the icon.
One of our friends is a Java developer, and I don't remember what insult. Just kind of being funny because I do C# stuff, and I don't remember what little insult, like not really a developer because he does Java, and then the motherfucker didn't speak to me for like 2 years. I was like, I don't know Java. You're better than
Wow.
I am. That was a joke.
Wow.
That's funny.
So VR, huh? You guys
Yeah.
play VR
VR.
games?
Guns, monsters.
So
Those are
I
good skeletons, by the way.
I just got
Thanks.
a PS5, and it's the
Oh, that's
first PlayStation I've ever owned because I've always
Whoa.
been Nintendo,
Yeah.
Xbox, And I got it just for the PSVR, the PSVR 2 coming hopefully this year.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
I've been going.
I think it's gonna be October, from what I've heard. Maybe.
That's,
Shh, don't tell anyone. Oh, we're live.
So-
Oh shit.
So I'm like, well, I'll just get the first version of the headset because they have some really good games that were exclusive and I haven't got to play. And it's been, and again, take this with a grain of salt. It's been a pain in the ass because I got everything I need, and I went to hook it up, and I went to jump in, and I'm like, where the hell does this camera plug into? And I forgot that going from PS4 to PS5, you need that special adapter. I'm like, God damn it. And you can get one for free, but it takes like 4 months to get to you. So I got one on Amazon. So I finally got that. I hooked it up, and I go to play Astrobot, and it's like, where's your controller? I'm like, it's right fucking here. Like, like what the hell? Well, now I need a PS4 controller to play that game. I'm like, God damn it!
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's weird.
frustrating.
So
Should be
then,
backwards compatible.
yeah, it doesn't have the light on the front though, or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
There's
Oh.
PS4 has like a
Ah.
light beacon
Yeah.
because my controller has that.
Ah.
So I finally got everything square. Well, I haven't got that controller yet, so I haven't played Astrobot yet, but I've been playing some Iron Man, which is pretty cool. But the day I got the adapter and I went to hop in for the very first time, I was so excited. Like I forgot to charge the wands, so I couldn't play it again. Like, God damn it! So it's been an ongoing quest of mine to play some PSVR. But
I could have just
I'm
sent you my PS4 Pro.
yeah, coulda.
Just sitting there.
But I
Do you guys
need it
live
for when.
near each other in real life?
Not anymore. Cookie ditched me.
We're brothers in real life. I just moved to the southeastern part of America, and he's in the top middle.
Ah, okay. Didn't know that.
Japan.
But yeah, I need it
You
for
guys live in
October.
Japan. That sounds more fun. What?
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 Welcome to the What podcast? What?
What? I couldn't hear. What?
It says something about how jovial and friendly you two are, because like, who else? You just sitting around and like you got 4 people saying what? And now you're
Why are you hiding under the table? Should
think
you
you're
drop your pen?
What'd
I
you drop?
actually just got a message
What?
that my headset is running out of electricity, so I'm hooking it
Gas?
up right now.
Oh, okay.
Was there plugins?
Well, this is
under
what
here?
we
I didn't
saw.
even know. You guys are meeting under the table to give a message. These guys are idiots.
Can't plug in now.
Yeah, he's still on his quest 1. I'm on my quest 2.
Nice.
I still regret getting the Quest because I still prefer my HTC Vive actually.
Yeah,
Nah.
I'm
Still
still.
comfortable.
Yeah, I love my Rift CV1 or CV2, and when that dies, I'm gonna cry a little bit. But Quest 2 is great, but I still like PC VR better than anything. So
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what Valve is working on because we had the Valve Index at the company before, and that was like really cool to play around with. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
now they're
like
working on the
too
Deckard,
expensive.
the rumored Deckard that's going to be possibly like a Quest, but a more powerful Quest, standalone
Oh,
VR
what?
headset.
I'm like so out of the
Deckard
loop right
VR.
now.
Do you think
Yeah,
that'll
gotta
connect to the
follow.
Steam Deck, or will that be part of it?
Probably similar hardware. Like they could reuse that hardware for the Deckard.
True.
I put in a $5 pre-order for a Steam Deck.
Nice. How long is it
Is
going
that
to
the
take
whole
to
story?
get that?
Oh,
I'm
there was more.
excited.
Oh, okay.
The Steam Deck
I
looks
just
You
wanna-
paused.
I just want to play with it to play that demo they made. That's kind of like an Aperture Lab kind
You
of
can actually play it on
game.
PC too. It's not exclusive.
Nah, it's not fun, dude. You need that controller.
Gotta do it right.
It's like, yeah, come on. Yeah, exactly. It's like you got Call of Duty on PC and then it came out on the PSP. It's like, oh, you can play it on PSP, but on the PC emulator. Like, no, it's not the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those Android games you can play on PC. Like, it's not the same feeling.
Yeah. But I
Uh,
do have 2 Switches in the house I don't really use. But when I told my girlfriend about the Steam Deck, because she likes to play some MMOs on the PC, and the Steam input control system to set up a controller is really good. And could you probably,
Mhm.
play some stuff lying down because she gets tired of sitting up at the PC for an hour or two just playing the game. So that piqued her interest, and I said, I can probably put on like a Switch emulator, and you can play some Switch games on it too. And that was like, really? But I'm like, we got 2 Switches just sitting down in the That was the clincher.
yeah.
Yeah, that is actually huge. Yeah, putting Switch emulators.
Yeah.
Maybe you can even upscale
Yeah.
the games to some degree.
Yeah.
Well-
All right. Ray tracing, 4K.
Yeah, not to that extent, but yeah.
Yeah, they have done it for Breath of the Wild. They were like, they put those effects, like super effects
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess the
Yeah, I
Steam
don't
Deck is
wanna-
not powerful enough, though, but yeah, PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to like alienate any viewers, but like I was looking forward to Breath of the Wild really bad. I think it's a great game, but like I got it on the Switch and everybody seemed to love it. PJ was playing it, our friends are playing it. And I'm like, it looks a little ugly. Like she's had
What?
like a
Well-
gray fog over the whole thing.
It's great.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
the
like,
whole art of it.
So,
it made it look dim and
I-
dingy for me. So
I originally got it on the Wii, so when I went up to the Switch, I'm like, damn, this looks awesome.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I saw it on an emulator. He just ran off.
Hey.
I saw it on an emulator where they like removed that fog layer and it just immediately popped. And I was like, now I want to put a Switch emulator on my PC.
Yeah. I also they put Breath of the Wild on PC and you can play it in VR, so that hooked my
Oh,
my interest. Because I have Mario 64 like in a high def version, and that's pretty sweet. So
In VR?
not in VR, but
you'd probably get
Like
motion
we throw
sickness from
up.
that.
Yeah.
I would like to take that bet because like I can like I could sit here for hours and do that, be fine. But I would like to jump on some Goombas in VR.
You ever got that? Remember something like you jump and then when you double jump or something, he like does like a backflip in the air and like does a ground pound.
Oh.
He'd be like spewing through that whole somersault.
Actually, I've played the Mario Kart VR experience that they had here in Japan, in Tokyo, before they shut it down. And that was pretty interesting how, like, the car, when it spins and you get hit and you fly around and jump. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Right.
I'm so jealous because that sorry they showed that. I'm like, holy shit, that looks so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
They
now
don't
that
have it
place is
anymore, do
gone,
they?
so you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's gone. Sorry.
Someday.
I played
yeah,
the
I think,
House
like,
of.
Nintendo. Yeah, what's going
It's not really a VR game, but the House of the Dead.
Mhm.
4, I guess. No, 5. I don't know if it's numbered or not. But yeah, the Game Center exclusive one, the newest one they made with Unreal Engine. It's actually super cool. But I think they could just like easily port it to like VR and make like a VR rail shooter, but they just don't. It's just like you can
Yeah.
only play it in the Game Center.
Yeah, they don't get that.
I don't know why they
How
don't
about the
make
House
VR
of the Dead
versions
typing
anymore.
game?
Yes. I still want to make that actually. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna, but I just want to take like Monster Reapers, all the Monster Showdown, all the assets, and make like a House of the typing game kind of thing.
Would they be running at the
But-
camera? And you have to
Yeah.
type at them?
Yeah, they come towards you and you have to type them to kill them, type their names. But it's still gonna be a while, but yeah, I eventually want to do that. Maybe even in VR.
VR typing?
Yes.
Yeah, because now you can do the pass through, right, with Quest.
Yeah.
See your keyboard. Yeah.
Might work.
One game I'm surprised no one's kind of copied for VR, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was on Wii with like it's kind of like a starter disc where it had a bunch of mini games and stuff. But they had a
You mean Wii
4-player
Sports?
co-op. No,
Oh, okay.
it had like very different kinds of games, and they had a 4-player co-op like Zelda game where you could shoot bows and you had a sword and a shield to block and stuff. It's like that's what I want in VR, but no
Wait,
one's
was
done
it
it.
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool actually. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Super cool.
So
And
like
what sucks is it
simple.
wasn't multiplayer. It
Yeah,
wasn't like just local multiplayer, no online. Even though they had a
local,
whole
yeah.
lobby where there's fake people. What the hell?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that'd be
Yeah.
so easy and to do, and no one's done it. It's like that's what I want. Like, that's fun.
True, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a metaverse kind of thing. Like,
You're
Yeah.
like one of the very few people that played Wii U.
I don't know. Am I?
Because
Yeah,
I never like hear anybody
I'm-
talk about
I've never heard someone says I've played Breath of the Wild on the Wii.
it.
Yeah. I don't encourage it. It was
But-
bad.
Yeah.
Played
But Wii U actually, like Nintendo Land was the one game I actually really loved because I had a bunch of friends over at the time, and it was like so fun, like something that you couldn't do on a different platform with the
Yeah,
like chase game where like one person's chasing and has
that
the
was awesome.
screen. It's
Yep.
so cool.
Yeah,
I
you
was
could do
loving
the same
Nintendo's
stuff with a
unique games
headset.
like that.
Yeah. Like async.
Yeah,
well, not
totally.
async, but yeah, just like one
I
person in
think
the headset,
there was
the
a
other's on
game
the
that
screen.
released a few months ago. There was a game that released. I forgot the name, but it's like a party game, kind of like Mario Party, but for the VR.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
We had him on the podcast. Now I'm gonna be an asshole. The
Oh, great! You should totally know their names, all right?
yeah. Shit, he's gonna kill me. The party game we played with Beth.
Yeah, I love that guy.
What was the name of the
Remember
game? Loco
Don't have
Dojo.
notes on that?
Yes.
Yes, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah. That game's awesome. I love it.
With Sam, I think.
Yep.
And we got like a early build of their multiplayer something or other. I can't remember now, but the announcer guy who's got a great voice was like, "Throw these apples at these seagulls," and I was hitting the seagulls. My apples were really heavy, like they wouldn't.
Yeah.
You had to really chuck them, but it didn't interact with the seagull. It just passed right through them. So I'm sitting there going, "God damn it! If you say I'm going to hit a seagull, I need to be able to hit the fucking seagull." And PJ put that in the video, so Sam's coming on the podcast. He's like, "I'm sorry, we're going to put the thing in there where you can actually hit the seagulls with the apples." I'm like, "Just for me?" I'm like,
Hey,
damn.
I'm sure you guys
But that's
can
the
attest
important
to
thing
this.
about
That
VR.
devs love good feedback.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, no, we love any feedback. Like, it's
Yeah.
great when people praise the game, but we appreciate when you can shit on it and just tell us like what's better about it. Like, how can we fix it? Just don't tell us multiplayer. That shit is hard.
Wait, didn't you say in real you can just say 10 player game and you get multiplayer?
Yes, local. Not online.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, with that, you have like a beginning template. It's not like now our game is 2 years in development adding multiplayer
Yeah,
at this
and
point, we
VR.
gotta reprogram a lot of things. And
Yeah, instead
VR,
of
VR makes it
spawn,
even
you
harder.
gotta-
Like, look at this. You have all this
Yeah.
movement. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, instantiate and all that stuff.
We actually did some prototyping with multiplayer at the job before, but even then, because like usually if you learn something, you start with like small, just make like a Pong clone or whatever. But we just like made a full like For Honor
For
type
Honor.
VR fighting game and just like
Nice.
started learning online with that, and it was like a fucking mess. So, don't want to do that again.
Well, that's an idea for anyone who wants to try it out. Like, For Honor in VR would be a pretty interesting, like,
Yes,
PvP
yeah.
kind of game. With the
Yeah,
whole
I'd
stance
play it.
system and stuff.
I want a good Bushido blade, one hit kill VR game.
Right.
Maybe you can stab yourself again, like Yoshimitsu.
I had forgotten all about that move until you said that.
Remember the pogo stick with his sheath that you jump
Oh,
up and
yeah,
down?
you know,
with?
hop on his sword, he'd
Oh,
like
yes.
kick it, and he would scoot. It just plow
What
right
was the
into you.
sound he does? Like, "Ah."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like speaking of feedback, there's a streamer called Mercury VR, and he's been the best source of feedback ever for us. Like he's
Yes.
always playing the game when we make a new update, and he's so good at finding bugs and just like doing things that most people wouldn't do. And he's like trying to exploit the game, and it's super helpful. So yeah, shout out to you, Mercury VR. You're the best.
Yeah. They really,
It's awesome.
the game is as polished as it is thanks to him.
That's always really good.
Yeah.
That's funny because when I play a game, like even if I'm playing an alpha for someone, like my mind does not work that way. It's like play the game and experience it, and tell them what's cool about it. And it's like that's not probably super helpful. They need to
That's
hear what
also
doesn't
helpful,
work.
also helpful.
The best thing is you basically like when testing games is just to watch the person playing. Like most of the feedback we got aside from the bugs from Mercury, for example, he streams all his gameplay. So we just watch him play and we can get so much feedback from just how he's experiencing the game. Like if something is like, he gets annoyed from something, like he doesn't even have to point out the problem. But if he just like, we just see him feeling frustrated, we know, okay, this guy needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. We were actually really shocked when we saw the first people play like the super old version of the adventure mode. Because like for us it was like you're supposed to like walk around while you shoot and just kind of like walk backwards and kite the enemies. But there were like so many people that were just like standing in the spot and they were just like standing and getting swarmed. And we're like, wait, this game is too hard for most people. And then we had to kind of like adjust things and also like explain to people that they're supposed to like move around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that was actually helpful. Just like even if they don't like tell us what's wrong, just like watching them play, it's like
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah.
And as weird as it is, sometimes like in shooter games in VR, it's like ducking and dodging isn't like the first thing you think of. Like in a Xbox game and you're shooting, you just kind of push a button and you're like, taking cover, and then you can reload.
Yeah.
But you don't think about moving your whole body. So like we'll be playing a shooter game like with me, my brother, and me and PJ and our nephew. We run around and then I'll just sit there and have to reload the thing. I'm doing all that stuff and I look up and I'm just getting like murdered. I'm like, oh crap, I'm not even behind a wall. Idiot.
Yeah.
It's sometimes cool. Like sometimes it's like it's problematic like that, but sometimes it's cool also where you don't have to teach certain things in VR to people because this is how they would react in real life. Something gets thrown on their face, they'll move their head, and like that's great. Like when it works with your game, and these kind of things are cool. Like they would immediately naturally understand. Oh, pick up a gun and press like shoot like a gun. You wouldn't have to explain certain kind of things like that because that's how they would do it in real life. So that's when it works and is beneficial.
Mm.
No diluted
was-
menu or anything like that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, the more people do menus in games in VR, awkward.
Yeah, our old menu was just ridiculous. It was like everything was physical buttons. You had to like press like with the gun shoot it. And in the end, we're just like, let's just make it like a normal VR, like a normal game, just a laser pointer, done. Like, it's cool to
Yeah.
have it physical and pressing a button, but in the end, players just want quickness and smoothness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the old menu. Just like thinking about it makes me so nostalgic because it's been so long.
Well, like everyone's used to like Xbox games. You push a button, you might have like a fly out menu where you just kind of spin the stick, but your our hands
No, yeah.
aren't as accurate as your thumb spinning a stick. This is a lot
Mm.
harder. So like to get it like minute and exact. You're pushing a physical button. That does get a little like weird because you're not really touching anything in the real world, so then
Yeah.
stopping your hand from going through the table.
I don't remember the game, but yeah, there were like some games that have. Oh, I think Rec Room actually has a very good implementation of that, where it's kind of a
Yeah.
flat menu, but then you have the buttons popping out of
Ah,
it, and
Yes, with your
you get
finger,
good
you
feedback.
can point.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
actually
it's
felt really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And they
like that
have
one.
both options. You can press with your finger by moving your hands, or you can just click a button, and yeah,
Mm.
works both ways.
Yeah, I think options are key for everything to give people what they want and make it more accessible for people. But
Mm.
Yeah,
also
our game
understand
started
that
off with
it's.
like, yeah, go on. Bro.
I was gonna say I know it's not the easiest thing for devs to like throw everything in there all at once either. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Initially, from our game, like the options menu was just like two things. Like it was the rotation of the
Mm.
game, like how speed, and the vignette effect when you move, like the tunnel vision effect. And yeah, now if you open the game, it's like 10 or 12 different options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely one thing I'm not gonna miss about making VR games.
Oh, Jesus, yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like it just feels so good to make a game that works, that runs on the screen for once again. Because
Yeah.
also there's like so much stuff that you just can't do in VR that makes your game feel like a lot more awesome easily, like screen shake and like hit stop and all these things that just don't work in VR, and you can just like get so much mileage out of that, making your game feel better. Just like
And something
refreshing
as
to do
simple as
something else
just
again.
touching things. Like now here in we're in VR, just put my head through the table. You have to like every single scenario, every single thing like this, stop the player from doing it or have
Yeah.
something like in reaction to that happening. Whereas in a normal game, no, you just have the player walking around and that's it. Like the collisions work, everything works, don't have to worry about anything. So like VR just adds so much more work to get things
Yeah.
running smoothly.
yeah,
And then also like the whole like left hand, right hand thing, because that was the worst. Like picking up weapons, because then I need to check if you pick a weapon from the wall, do you pick it with the left or the right hand? And if you pick it with the right hand, do you have the same weapon equipped? Then just put an ammo. If it's a different weapon, then change the weapon. But is the weapon also in the left hand? Then do you lose the weapon? Then you need to also change it in the left hand, and all these kind of things. It was just insane.
Yeah.
There.
Seriously. Like, I mean, I'm just happy we're like 2 years and we finished the game. Like, that was like
Yeah.
one thing why we chose to finish it, because it would have been sad now if it was 2 years later and yeah, we quit the game, we didn't finish it fully. That would have been like,
Yeah.
ah man, like we never did VR. But at least now it's like, okay, we did it, it worked. At least we have that satisfaction.
True.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd do more non-VR games then going forward? Any more
Absolutely.
VR games in the pipeline for you?
just the
Yeah,
anime.
For me,
on-
like, yeah, for me in the company, I'll keep doing VR because I still think
Mm.
it's a really interesting space. Like, there's so much experimentation and trying out new things. And yeah, in my free time, for now, I'll be sticking to non-VR games. Aside from updating Monster Showdown, I'll be sticking to non-VR games. And yeah, that's what I'm planning.
Yeah, those
Yeah. Similar here, yeah, because well, I don't work on VR at work. I actually do like web it's kind of between game and web development. Well, it's a browser game, so I do that at work. But yeah, for now, like I don't want to touch VR. I just want to be able to enjoy VR as a consumer again. So I just need to like take a step back, because yeah, while doing Monster Reapers, like I just couldn't play VR anymore because it like reminded me of work so much. And I just
Yes.
want to be able to enjoy VR again and just like do some desktop games. Yeah, mostly because now I'm working on like a side-scrolling beat 'em up because I was doing research on the 2D stuff. Yeah, so do that one, and I also have like another like 3D brawler planned, and just work on that. Keep doing the YouTube stuff, like teach about Unreal Engine, and also like help Yahya with like updating Monster Showdown. Like once it's if it's non-quest stuff, that's the plan for now.
Yeah. And speaking of our YouTube channels, I sent you on Twitter our socials, and the YouTube
nice.
channel links, so you can share them whenever you like to.
Awesome. Was there anything we didn't talk about that you guys wanted to bring up, or?
Can't really
So
think of
meta,
anything.
huh? I'm surprised I was able to boot up into my quest today. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Speaking briefly about Meta, like there are like troubles here and there with the whole like Facebook connection stuff, but in general, like when it comes to VR, like they're the biggest company that's really just poured in money without getting much back, and they've pushed the industry so much. Like just looking at that, like they've helped so much, and I can't complain about that.
Yeah. Like the rebranding, I still don't understand much, but what do I know? Oculus was just such a cool concept and idea and everything that went with it, but I don't know.
I think it is like the new direction because they don't want to just do it's not just going to be VR, but also probably like now Facebook Messenger and any new platform they're going to be creating will all be integrated to this Meta kind of system to make it all working together. And like it was cool the other day. I took a screenshot inside my game, and I was like, oh, I want to send it to my wife, and I was like, oh wait, immediately there was a button I can just share to Messenger, and like, oh cool, that's cool. Like those kind of things are pretty cool. And so that would be cool. Like now I think they're also implementing soon the home thing where I can just invite Gitch or you guys to my home, like my VR home, like the menu in the Quest, and that's pretty cool. Like you just chat and talk with each other, watch something, like those kind of things, like pretty awesome. So putting all the systems together, making this whole meta verse kind of thing, I see there could be very interesting things they can do with that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about because they're a big company, they can drive it forward, but in the end, like I think a metaverse needs to be decentralized. Like there's no way a company should have any say in how it's going, right? But that's a pretty deep topic.
VR chat is definitely like pushing forward with that, where it's just being built by the community. Like VR chat company does not tell people what to do. Like they're doing everything. Like they have nightclubs, they have like private hotels. Like it's crazy stuff they have.
Yeah. They're kind of going the right direction. I think that's how it should be. Have like the community come in and do a lot of stuff, be able to contribute.
Any other thoughts there, Wookie?
Too many. We don't want to stay on forever. Like I always say, these pill hands, if you put your hands together and put them in the table, you can make a butt.
All I'm seeing is pills, like all blackness. A pill. I'm Dr. Mario. Hey.
There you go.
Just can use it as a weapon. Just throw them.
That's what I told Wookie. I want to be able to pull the grip button and a little line goes between them and I can just turn them into nunchucks.
Yeah, that should be easy to implement. It's just VR and coding.
Just if statements.
Yeah, that's all. Just flick a switch, that's all.
How many blueprint buttons would that take?
Could be done with 2 or 3 blueprints. I could do it in a day. That's fine. But now doing it in VR and online, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm slowly getting sick. I'm getting a bit dizzy from the
talking about online.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of lag, so
Okay.
been
Oh.
messing with my vision.
Our booth isn't as performance good as it should be, so working on trimming out some of that junk.
LODs
get it.
will help.
On that note, it's great to talk to you guys again. It's been too long.
Thanks.
Come back anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks
I
for
love to see your updates and the game changes, and every time you come back, our space will probably be different and more optimized.
Nice.
Sweet.
But yeah, anyone listening, watching, check the show notes. We'll share links to your YouTube channels and Twitters and share all the fun stuff. We'll have links to the game and all that. I can't wait to try it on Quest if it works out for you guys.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Open
I
up
can
the
send you
whole
a book
new.
if you want.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I would try it. You guys definitely pour a lot of heart and soul into it. Like you said, you've been working on it for so many years and you just haven't given up and you made it work and got the game out. So that just amazes me.
Thank you.
Thanks. Happy
Yeah,
to
thanks
hear
for
that.
hanging out and talking VR and Smash Brothers and Street Fighter and Soul Calibur.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Fun times.
Come back soon.